Morning, my dear students. I hope you people are staying safe at your home and are being benefited by these classes. Welcome back to chemistry class. This is the fifth video lesson of chapter number 2, that is elements, compounds and mixtures. In the last class, we have studied about what is a mixture and what are the different types of mixtures and why do we need to separate the different types of mixtures. Okay, so in today's class, we will be continuing the different methods that are used for the separation of mixtures. So the learning objectives of today's class are what is separation and what is the need of separation and what are the different methods that are used for separation, which will be including sieving, magnetic separation and sublimation. These three methods which we are going to study today. The first method, that is sieving, we have already discussed in the last class and we'll be just revising that method. So let's start. Now, why it is important to separate mixtures? Because we all know that mixture is not a pure substance. Okay, so and it consists of different types of components or constituents that are present in it. Now, some components may be useful to us, and some may of be of not no use to us. Okay, so to just get those desirable components, separation is important and separation is required. Okay, now to separate the useful components from a mixture, separation is required. Also, to remove the unwanted materials or impurities from a mixture, the process of separation is done. Or to get the desirable or pure substance from a mixture, the process of separation is important. We have already discussed the process of sieving in the last class. Okay, so just let us quickly revise that process. In the process of sieving, different types of sieves are used. Okay, now in this method, what is done? Different types of sieves with different pore sizes are used, and what happens, the mixture is taken in the sieve and a bowl is kept under the sieve and the sieve is shaken. Okay, and as a result of which, what happens, the large components are left behind in the sieve and the smaller components are passed through the pores of the sieve and they are collected in the bowl. Okay, and according to the size and kind of the component, different types of sieves are used with different pore sizes. Okay, so and what happens, as a result, the separation is done. Okay, now the second method that is used is the magnetic separation. Okay, now the magnetic separation, in this process a magnet is used, and in the magnet is used to separate different magnetic components from a mixture. Okay, so this the process in which a magnet is used to separate the magnetic components from a mixture is known as the magnetic separation. Okay, now the process is mainly based on the difference between the magnetic properties of the components that need to be separated. Okay, now in this method, a magnet is rolled over a mixture, and what happens, the components or the constituents or the substances that have the magnetic properties, they just stick or cling to the magnet and they are separated, removed, and the non-magnetic components are left behind. Okay, so this process is known as the magnetic separation. Now, in this process, what is done? Let us perform an activity to understand this process. Now, we take for this activity, we require a mixture of sand and iron fillings. Okay, and we also require a strong magnet. Now, what we'll do, we'll take a mixture of sand and iron fillings and we'll place the mixture in a bowl. Now what happened? We'll move a magnet over the mixture and rotate it, so that what happens? The iron fillings, because iron is magnetic in nature, it clings, or it just gets attracted towards the magnet, and it just get cling to the magnet, and the sand is left behind. So we see that since the iron is having the magnetic properties, it is easily attracted towards the magnet and gets cling to it, and in such a way, due to this process, iron is easily separated from the mixture of sand and iron fillings. The process of magnetic separation is generally used in the industries to remove scrap iron from the garbage that is being generated in the industries. Okay, now for this process, a large magnet is used and it is fitted to the crane, and it is rolled over the garbage, and after some time what we see that the iron pieces, they are attracted towards the magnet and they can be easily separated. The second process is the process sublimation. Okay, now this process we have already studied in the chapter number 3 also. Okay, so again we are going to study this process over here to understand the separation of mixtures. Now in this process, a solid changes directly into gas and it does not undergo the liquid state. For example, naphthalene balls you must have seen in your homes. Okay, so whenever what happens when we see that these naphthalene balls, they keep on reducing in size, after some times they just vanish because they undergo the process of sublimation. Okay, and the chemical properties of the substance here remains the same because it is a physical change. Okay, another example is iodine, camphor, ammonium chloride. These all are the examples of substances that are sublimable in nature. Okay, now here what happens in this method, the process, the mixture is taken in the heating dish. To understand how the process of sublimation takes place and how the mixture is separated, let us perform an activity. The experimental setup that is required for the process of sublimation is as shown in the diagram. Now in this method, what happens? The mixture that is to be sublimed or separated is taken into the evaporating dish. Now in this process, the one of the components that has to be is to be a sublimable substance. Okay, now when the mixture is heated, the mixture is taken into the evaporating dish, and when the mixture is heated, the solid component that sublimes, it evaporates, and what happens? This sublimable product that sublimes and changes into vapor, it gets deposited on the sides of the funnel, on the top side of the funnel, and the product that does not sublimed is left behind in the dish itself. Now the sublimed product, it gets solidified and it is separated. It can be easily removed and separated, and what happens? The unsublimable product is left behind in the evaporating dish. Examples of the sublimable substances are iodine, camphor, naphthalene balls, ammonium chloride. These are the examples of the sublimable substances. Okay, now I hope that's all for today, and I hope that you people have understood well the topic or the portion that is being taught today. One more thing I want to say, that please complete your copies, and whenever you ask any query or any question in the school app, then kindly write your class also along with your query, that in which class you are studying. Okay, sometimes it becomes difficult to answer your queries. Okay, so please keep that in mind, and if you have any query, then you can ask me in the school app. And stay safe, and take care of yourselves. That's all for today. Thank you.